Form 8868, Application for Automatic Extension of Time to File an Exempt Organization Return. So this Form 8868 is used by a tax-exempt organization to request that automatic 6-month extension to file a tax return. Also, a trustee of a trust that's required to file either Form 1041A or Form 5227 must use IRS Form 8868 to request an extension on those tax returns. This is a one-page tax form that's fairly straightforward. We'll go through from the top, starting with the taxpayer information. So we'll just enter the name of our tax-exempt organization. We'll enter our taxpayer ID number. In some circumstances, most of the time this is going to be probably an employer identification number, but in the case of individuals that may be required to file this form, for example, an individual filing IRS Form 4720, then it could be a Social Security number. So just under the taxpayer information, you're going to enter the return code based on the type of tax return. And right here below shows return codes for all the required types of tax returns. So we'll just say that Acme Charities is looking to looking for an extension based on their IRS Form 4720. Should mention at the top, you can electronically file this form for a tax extension, with the exception of IRS Form 8870, which is the information return for transfers associated with certain personal benefit contracts. That must be filed in paper to the IRS. And the mailing address is in the form instructions. It's Department of the Treasury, Internal Revenue Service Center, Ogden, Utah, zip code 84201-0045. And again, that address is in the back in the form instructions if you're interested. So right below the return code field, you would enter the location of the books and records. So you put in a phone number, and a fax number. And then if the organization does not have an office or a place of business in the United States, you would check this box. Since ours is in Anytown, Texas, we'll leave that blank. If this was for a group return, then you would enter the group exemption number. And if this is for the whole group, you would check the box. If it's only for part of the group, then you would check this box and attach a list with the names and taxpayer identification numbers for all the members related to the extension. Then it's pretty straightforward. You're going to request an automatic 6-month extension of time until put in a blank. Let's just say we don't need the full extension, but we'll just put in, let's see, all right. Since that's normally the a form, let's just change this to Form 990 PF. So we'll call this 4. This is one of the tax forms, Form 990, 990 EZ, 990 PF for private foundations. Normally the due date is May 15th, or the 15th day of the 5th month after the end of the accounting period. So for most calendar year tax exempt organizations, that would be May 15th. The 6-month extension takes you out to November 15th. So this would be the extension for the 2022 tax year. You can, if you're a fiscal year taxpayer, enter that as well, the tax year beginning and end dates. So in line 2, you only need to complete this if the tax year in question was less than 12 months. So either it's an initial return, it's a final tax return, and you're closing out the books, or you might be filing for a change in accounting period. And if you are looking to change your accounting period, you must have already applied for approval to change the tax year. So that would be filing IRS Form 1128, and if you need more details, you can look them up in Publication 538, Accounting Periods and Methods. So IRS Form 1128 is the application to adopt, change, or retain a tax year. And then IRS Publication 538 is Accounting Periods and Methods, if you need more detail. Since this was a 12-month tax year, we're going to go straight to 3A. And this is pretty straightforward. We're going to enter the tentative tax minus any non-refundable credits in line 3A. We'll just say that the tax liability is $2,000. If this application, and again, this is for 990PF, 990T, 4720, or 6069, where you may have some sort of tax liability. In line 3B, you would enter any refundable credits, any estimated tax payments that you've already made during the tax year. You would also include any prior year overpayment that was carried forward or allowed as a credit. So we'll just say that that was $1,000. And then you subtract line 3B from line 3A, and you come up with $1,000. You would then pay that $1,000 by using the electronic federal tax payment system known as EFTPS. That is it's a free service administered by the Department of the Treasury so that you can pay the IRS. And you would do that in conjunction with this. So as you're sending the as you're filing this electronically, you would send this payment electronically as well. You don't need to sign the tax return. However, you do need to make this payment no later than the due date of the original tax return. So even though you're extending the filing date 6 months, that does not give you the right to suspend your tax liability for 6 months. In fact, you could still owe a late filing penalty, or sorry, late payment penalty, and accrue interest on your outstanding tax balance if you do not make that estimated tax payment by the due date of the tax return. So that's all we have for this video. It's pretty short. I would say the last 2 pages of this are further instructions on particular items. You can read that if you're interested. You can also read our in-depth article that we put up on our website. Simply go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in IRS Form 8868 in the search bar, and our article should appear. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please post them in the show notes or the comment section. Thank you very much and have a great day.